Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight, we've got something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at Brad Paisley, but he's playing Hot for Teacher. And just a quick premise to this video. So at the part of the gig, this is going to be phone footage, so it's going to be pretty borderline quality-wise in terms of the sound. But Brad's having a DJ duel. So the DJ's been playing some songs, and he's then been trying to play them on the guitar. And then Hot for Teacher comes up by Van Halen, of course. So then he starts playing Hot for Teacher. A lot of people will think this is borderline cringe in terms of it's obvious that this is a pre-rehearsed track and Brad has learned all of the parts and can play it. So it's not really one of those things that, oh, the DJ is trying to catch him out, but somehow he can naturally just play Van Halen's Hot for Teacher. It is definitely rehearsed, but it's good because we get to see a little bit of Brad's technique out of that country genre. But let's get Brad up on screen and see how he gets on with Hot for Teacher by Van Halen. I'm just going to jump in here because it looks like some of the crowd don't really know what's going on. It's obviously a crowd that have come to see some country music, but some people are getting into it. But in terms of Brad's playing, especially in the intro, you know, he's got that all down. He's got all the tapping and he's phrasing all correctly in the intro. Obviously, some people don't like other people from genres that aren't genres that these people are particularly into. They don't like it when somebody from, like, say, for example, a country player starts playing hard rock and metal. It's almost like they're on hallowed turf and they shouldn't be there and all that kind of stuff. Whereas I don't mind anybody trying to get some Van Halen into their set list. I totally haven't got a problem with it. And guitar players out there will know that playing Van Halen is just fun. Tapping is just cool. Some people aren't really into it, but I'm into it myself, as you can probably tell from my hair. So any chance to whip out some Van Halen is much obliged by me. And certainly Brad here, there are going to be people that say, oh, he's not playing this bit right, and that's not how Van Halen did it, and that part of the solo he missed out. This is just an abbreviated version of the track where Brad just gets to probably just hang out with a great bit of hard rock for a little while. And just goes to show here that Brad has got techniques down that aren't necessarily that prevalent in country music, or at least they're not featured. I do mention in other videos where I have done country playing, and I've said that in hard rock and metal you'll find these same techniques, a lot of alternate picking. Here obviously we've got tapping and hammer-ons and pull-offs and all those things that Van Halen's known for, and Brad's doing a really great job in just throwing this together. I'm not sure it's the right audience for it, but I don't really mind. It's one of those things that he's showing off the techniques that he's got, and sometimes players that might just strum out a few chords and sing are actually packing a hell of a lot of chops that they never really get to explore in their own genre of music or their own style. And commonly that will happen because a true artist will only ever play for the track or for the composition that they're actually playing on. And same with vocally, they'll be singing exactly how they think that composition should be sung. And Brad is a classic case here of just showing sometimes guitar players want to actually push the boundaries a bit and get into the other techniques and just show off a little bit, and that's exactly what Brad's doing here. He might not get the opportunity, other than a Van Halen cover, to really show his tapping and show this kind of technique that he's got going on. And Brad is doing a great job vocally as well, because he's got a great voice, he's a great singer. His voice might not be suited that much to the heavier kind of stuff, especially David Lee Roth. He was one of those guys that I think nobody can imitate in terms of his vocal, the way that he could put it across. And of course it's a bit tongue-in-cheek the way that he's walking around on stage, but fundamentally the guitar techniques are there, even though it's light-hearted and he's walking around stage and not being really strict with the vocal lines, keeping it exactly the same, because it's an abbreviated version. He's just having fun with it. But make no mistake, Brad has got the techniques down. You can't do a cover of this and pull it off in this joking way unless you've got all the techniques down for real, for actually sitting there for hours and hours and hours, getting down the tapping, getting the hammer-ons and pull-offs, getting the phrasing right, even getting the rhythm chops exactly right, getting the phrasing. There's a lot of rehearsal that goes into it. So Brad has got all these techniques fundamentally down, and it's just a chance to let his hair down and have a little bit of fun on stage. There's not long to go on this video, so let's watch it till the end. And there we go. I think the video is just about to cut out. But again, it's a cool performance. The techniques are all in there. Even towards the end there, little alternate picking. I know that it's not going to be alternate picking in terms of shredding, picking out individual notes, but just on the single notes, the way that Van Halen did as well. But the techniques are down there, and I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that Brad is really well versed in those country techniques that do cross over. So if you want to go into that hard rock and metal realm, you've got the techniques in order to do that. All you need to do is just whop your amp up, stick some overdrive, a bit of delay on there, and those techniques will serve you well in the heavier genres if you want to go there with your playing. This video was just a bit of fun, really. Thanks for the suggestion to watch this one. I'll have to check out Brad's country music and country playing as well, but this one got thrown in there on my list, so of course Brad Paisley doing Hot for Teacher. I had to check it out. Not the best audio, as I said earlier. And, you know, hats off, or hats on, as Brad's got his hat on, but hats off to Brad for doing this and just having fun with it. And I get the impression that he really enjoyed doing it, even if some people in the audience might not even known what the song is and that it was actually by Van Halen, but they enjoyed it all the same. Didn't necessarily go mental for it, but Brad certainly did. So well done to Brad. Good performance of Hot for Teacher. And thank you for suggesting this video in the first place. Keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!